That is a conversation that we have with our buyers. That is a conversation that you need to know going in as a buyer, and whether it is the right market for you.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about what to expect in a seller's market and what a seller's market means.
So a seller's market is typically when the seller has the upper hand in a transaction,
Yes.
Meaning that for whatever reason, they have more leverage than the buyer does.
It could mean that, we have an influx of people moving here from out of state.
So economic factors.
Yes.
Right?
We could also have a couple other reasons. If interest rates are trending downward and lower interest rates, then we have a bigger buyer pool for those homes.
Right. So people moving in state.
Yes.
Some of the reasons, and they're usually economic reasons, employment. If there's big corporations, new industries popping up in the city or in the state in general,
Right.
then that will tend to bring in new people moving in. Because of their employment, so they're bringing their families, obviously, and they need a home. So an influx because of that, and then, like you said, lower interest rates. So if for whatever reason interest rates are trending downwards, people want to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Because a difference in interest rates, whether that be even 0.5% or a 1% difference, can make a huge impact.
Such a huge
Impact on how much you can afford, how much home you can afford, and what your monthly
payment will be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is part of the reason why you might find yourself in a seller's market.
Yeah.
Another reason also being a short spike in interest rates.
Yes.
So if for some reason you see that interest rates start trending upwards, and you as a buyer, or you are on the fence about buying, you kind of want to take advantage of the interest rates before they do get higher. So that kind of also pushes you then to start buying, and in turn, not only you, but everyone else that was on the fence is now a buyer. So you create a larger supply of buyers, a larger pool of buyers, and have a lower supply of homes. And that is another thing that can also cause a seller's market, is a shortage of inventory.
Yes. So, we could have a shortage of inventory for a number of reasons. With new construction, builders, if lumber prices go up, if they have trouble getting permits, anything that might lengthen the period of time in building a home, which decreases the amount of inventory they have, as well as, honestly, if people just don't want to sell their home, they're worried they can't find another home to move to, whatever the case may be.
Right. As we've seen, also maybe a pandemic could definitely deter you from selling your home or wanting people to walk through your home. So you have what is typically a lot of homes on the market. Now you shorten that down, and you have a lot of buyers. This many buyers, this many homes. That is what creates a seller's market.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand, exactly.
So, normal supply in our market is about 6 months inventory. And what that means is if nobody else put their home on the market, we would have enough homes to supply buyers for 6 months. And then we'd be out. And we don't want that.
Yes, no, we don't. So anything under 6 months of inventory, and 6 months supply of inventory is considered typically a seller's market. Anything over 6 months, then you are in a buyer's market, which we'll talk about in another video. But for this video, you will typically, as a buyer, see that you're not going to see as many homes when you're searching on either our sites or any third-party site or the MLS. You're not going to see as many options. So you have a shortage of homes that also everyone else is looking at.
Yeah.
So what to expect in a seller's market?
Okay.
First and foremost, your agent should have a conversation with you, and they should definitely be able to educate you as to what to expect, how to prepare for the market once you're out there looking at homes, what it's going to take to get a home under contract in a seller's market. So
Right.
what conversation do you have with your buyers initially when you are going to start looking at homes and you know that there's a shortage of inventory and there's a ton of buyers looking?
I prepare them. I let them know, hey, if you see a home you like, we're going to want to prepare to go see it as soon as possible, because we want to be in that door before pretty much anybody else,
Right.
as quickly as possible.
And I'm sure that you also tell your buyers that we are going to be shopping for maybe a little bit longer than it would usually take.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at more homes
I
in the
mean,
pool of
Well, and
homes.
here's the thing. I would say we are pretty good at writing strong offers for our buyers. Now, obviously, it depends on the buyer, but we know how to write really strong contracts. It just, honestly, it depends on that seller and what they're going to want, what their expectations are selling their home. Because the seller may need time to move out of the house and you just can't give them the time. The seller may want a growing family to come move in their home, and you're an investor.
And that's what a strong agent will do, is they'll contact the other party and find out what that party wants to see in your offer in order for your offer to be accepted.
Yes.
Now, it sounds crazy, right? But in a seller's market, you're probably not negotiating under asking price. You're probably not coming in, if the home is $300, you're probably not able to come in at $290 or $295 like you typically are. You're probably going to, if you really like the home, well, if you're making an offer, you should really like the home.
Yes.
But if you're coming in a seller's market, you're probably going to be offering at least $290, maybe above asking price, and in an insane seller's market, you're probably going to be way above asking
Oh,
price.
for sure. You maybe even waiving the appraisal in some instances.
Right, and but that is part of working with a strong agent.
Yes.
Is then there are smaller terms which have huge impacts on a contract that your agent will inform you about and will tell you
Because
about.
we know the ins and outs.
Exactly,
of it.
on how to really write a strong offer. But with that being said, you are probably going in at asking price or above. You're probably giving more to the seller than in a typical offer where you're kind of negotiating and then meet in the middle. You're probably not meeting in the middle. You're probably meeting closer to the seller's needs than yours. But if that's what it takes, and if you're willing to buy
a strong
in the
agent, I think, is going to make sure that we're still doing what's best for the buyer, but
while taking care of you.
taking care of it.
Most
Yes.
definitely. Yes, we're still looking out for your best interest. And if your
We're
best
not going to advise you to do something that's not realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Like not doing an inspection. You always need
Always
to do an
doing
inspection. Always. So with that being said, I mean, you are trying to please the seller in a seller's market. So that is the conversation that we have with our buyers. That is a conversation that you need to know going in as a buyer, and whether it is the right market for you. Maybe you don't want to even buy in a seller's market, and you've decided that you'd rather wait for the market to balance out so that you're not having to go in at asking or above, right? That's another real conversation that you need to be having with your agent.
And those are conversations you'll want to talk about, because, I mean, those are good options, but also at the same time, if those interest rates move, then
what are you missing out on? It's a give and
are
take.
you saving on waiting, or?
Exactly. It's a give and take. So, but I really I think that sums it up. Did you?
I think we're good.
I think that is a seller's market.
That is. Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We hope to see you back.
Thank you. Like and subscribe, please, please, please.
We hope to see you
Okay.
back. I don't even see this.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And comment below if you learned anything, if you want us to talk about a certain topic, or if you just want to provide some feedback. We'd love to chat with you about any questions you may have.
We'll see you next time. I don't like that.